You're listening to the song The Bluebird Spindle. It's from the new compact disc Dragging Wonder Lake by Chicago-based musician Janet Bean and the Concertina Wire. Dragging Wonder Lake is Janet Beveridge Bean's first solo work, but she's no stranger to the Chicago music scene. The multi-talented musician is the longtime drummer of the trio 11th Dream Day and a founding member of the acclaimed band Freakwater. Critics have hailed both groups as bands that have paved the way for larger musical movements. 11th Dream Day foreshadowed the rise of the alternative grunge scene in the early 90s, and Freakwater has been on the leading edge of the so-called alt-country movement here and elsewhere. Janet Bean says the songs in her new solo disc reflect both musical influences.
The things that I do in both Freakwater and 11th Dream Day, they're both such different bands, but sort of where I live is kind of in the middle, and so the songs that I brought to either project would sort of be put through the system of each of, the 11th Dream Day system and turned into 11th Dream Day song, or vice versa with Freakwater. And so I sort of wanted them to exist as I would create them solely.
How much of the album, how much of the songs came from a dark place for you personally?
I tried doing it. My mother said to me, people don't want to hear all these sad songs, and I said, well, I do, that's what I like to hear. She says, no, I don't want to hear all these sad songs. So then she asked me to, she said, can't you write a happy song? And so I wrote A Glass of a Stranger on a new record, and then I ended up using both the word pimp and whore in it, and then I realized that it's kind of that it could be happier, but really it was a happy song. So they don't all come from dark places, but they all have to have, I think, some sort of, I suppose there's a grittier element to even the happiest ones. Maybe.
The reason I ask is because certainly the album starts on a very sad note with Suddenly, it seems. Certainly an introspective note.
That's the oldest song on there, and that was actually, I wrote that when we were making Live to Tell for 11th Dream Day, and it was a demo for that. The way that the album is laid out, the songs they're on the record as I wrote them, the order as I wrote them. So there's sort of, that was the earliest song, so that was the first song, and because I was just trying to think of an order for them, I thought, well, maybe this makes sense since they're generally written about what's happening at a specific time. If I just put them in that time frame, it'll make sense. So, and it just sort of turned out that the first song is and it's the one I play piano on, and I play so pathetically that it sounds kind of, it has this sort of she's all alone kind of sound. She's on her own. Some things we figure on, count it on as your life rolled on, and suddenly
the lyrics refer to such things as people talk about me, you've been treated wrong, they turn around and treat you wrong, suddenly you disappear far from the world like you were never there.
That's cheery, isn't it? Actually that song was written about the only argument Catherine and I ever had from Freakwater, and it was sort of written around that time, and it was, we've never lost our temper with each other really, although we seethe silently sometimes, but we never really outwardly lose our temper, and I think actually a coffee mug flew across the room, and so that song was kind of came out of that.